Kalie Marah was only 8 years old when rebels invaded his family home in 1991 during the Sierra Leonean Civil War. He recounts how his aunt was killed in his presence and his village burned down.
They cut off my aunt's breasts, both of them, and she bled to death. They beat us up with ropes and canes and burned down our houses. My uncle offered to give them money and cattle, but they refused. They said they wanted his life, so they shot him too.
Like Marah, many other Civil War survivors do not want a repeat as voters head for the polls. Some citizens say the youth have been agitated since a protest last August turned bloody and took the lives of more than 25 people. Fatu Gbewah is a teacher in Freetown. She says many of her neighbors are fleeing to the countryside to avoid being caught up in violent disturbances.
Some youth are saying that they are ready to fight if they don't win the election. Some say the last elections were not credible, so they are ready to defend this year's elections at all cost.
The Residual Special Court Interactive Forum is a consortium of more than 100 civil society organizations, and they say some political aspirants are seeking to stir up trouble. They have therefore targeted potential hotspots for violence to campaign for peace and counter what they say is misinformation and unethical campaigning by some presidential candidates.
Because we want to make sure that our elections are very peaceful. So we are going out to tell the history of the world, to tell the history of violence, the effects of violence. Because young people who didn't know were the ones who took part in the insurrection last year.
Sierra Leone's national security officials say data available to them shows a significant reduction in this year's election violence as compared to 2018's. They say only 14 cases of minor disturbances, such as destruction of opposition campaign materials, were recorded between April and the end of May. They say there have been some cases of arson in the last few weeks, but say that everything is under control.
The military will be coming to support the police, but their intervention will be exclusively limited to static deployments and mobile patrols, just so that we are certain that in the event that a situation of security wants to degenerate, the military will be hand in hand to support its counterpart, the Sierra Leone police.
As Sierra Leoneans prepare to vote, many are hopeful that the day will be peaceful. Senanu Tord for VOANews, Freetown.